Hello, 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 everyone. Welcome to our exciting reading, our fun reading session today. I'm Elena Torsiello, and I am so excited to be here on Vibrance, where we are celebrating Celiac Awareness Month, and I am going to be reading my book, Willy Villy Meets Casey Cramps in Sprueville. And I wrote this book because I have celiac disease. And celiac disease is an autoimmune disorder where you cannot eat wheat, oats, barley, or rye for the rest of your life. So I'm on a gluten-free diet, and I wanted to give back to the children because I used to be a teacher. And I decided to write this book. And I have my wonderful and fabulous friend here, Eileen Rothstein, who did all the illustrations in the book. And so she's going to tell us a little bit about how we met and how she got into the illustrating my book. So Eileen, you want to tell a little bit about how we got together and what happened?
Yes, I'm very happy to have known Elena for a very long time, since my son was 10 months old. And we met at a meeting of Mary Kay, and we just became fast friends, and my son's now 30. So it's been a really long time, and we've been through so many things together. And this book was just the icing on the cake. And I learned a lot from having to illustrate the story and develop the characters and the backgrounds. And I had never done anything like that before, so this really was something else. And I'm just so grateful that we have this opportunity to share our book with you.
Yes, and we're going to read the book now. So you're going to see a lot of different props that we're going to have, and it's going to be a fun time reading our book. And then you're going to learn a little bit about celiac disease when we're finished, okay? So here we go. We're going to read our book right now. So, are we ready? All right, Eileen, here we go. We're reading the book. All right. One day in a little town known as Sprueville, there lived outside swinging when all of a sudden he saw something flying in the sky. Casey thought he was dreaming when the object landed and came out, and a creature came out wearing the letters GF on his shirt. Casey did not know what to do, so he started to run away as fast as he could. The creature ran after him and said, "Don't be afraid of me. My name is Willy Villy, and I am lost. Can you help me? I was sent here to help a little boy named Casey."
Casey jumped up and down and said, "I am Casey, and you have found me. Why have you come to help me, and why are you wearing the letters GF on your shirt?"
"Well, you see, Casey, I come from the gluten-free planet called Spruton."
"What is gluten?"
"Gluten is something found in wheat, oats, barley, and rye. These are grains we make different foods such as pizza, pasta, cereal, and bread. It is in cakes, cookies, pies, and anything made with white flour. If I eat these foods, I will get very sick."
"I am sad that I can't eat those foods either. Willie, the doctor said I have something called celiac sprue. It sounds like you have celiac sprue too."
"You see, Casey, I was just as sick as you a long time ago, and that is why my family moved to Spruton. All the creatures on Spruton have celiac disease, just like you and me. I have come here to help you understand your new diet. I know you are sad because you can't eat all the foods you used to eat. I felt the same way in the beginning."
"Willie, I don't know what to eat. I never feel well. I always have a tummy ache, and I fart a lot. They are very stinky, and my stomach hurts, gets big, and I feel
Let's see, Casey. How am I going to help you? You have something in your stomach called villi. Healthy villi look bushy like my hair. Every time you eat foods with gluten in it, your villi get destroyed. That is why you have bad tummy aches. Let's visit your villi now
Ow!
with your belly button.
Willie whips out his Villy Zapper Viewer, VZV. Willie pointed his VZV at Casey's belly and saw his villi on Willie's chest. Oh, hi guys! You don't look good today.
No, we are not doing well today. Casey, you have been feeding us the wrong food, and that is making us sick and flat.
I am sorry. I just don't know what to feed you anymore.
Don't cry, Casey. You are just a little boy that must eat special food to become healthy.
What kinds of food can I eat, Willie?
You can eat foods that are made from different grains, like rice, vegetables.
I guess I will have to learn to eat foods for the rest of my life.
Casey was so sad because his friends could eat anything they wanted.
Willie, I am going to my friend's sleepover party and I don't know what I can eat there.
Willie invited Casey to come into his huge spaceship. Have no fear, Casey. I will show you something that will make you feel so much better. Are you ready for your big surprise?
Casey could not believe his eyes. He saw pizzas, cookies, cakes, and waffles. He was very excited to see all the gluten-free food in the spaceship.
Casey, would you like to try my pizzas and waffles?
Asked Chef Wee Wee. Oh, yes, I would.
Casey ate all the gluten-free food and said,
Wow, this is so good. It tastes so delicious.
As they both walked away from the spaceship, Casey said,
Willie, thanks for letting me eat your gluten-free food. I feel so much better and I don't have a tummy ache. Hooray! No more stinky farts. And the pain is gone.
let's have another look at your villi.
Willie took out his VZV and pointed it at Casey's belly again. Hi, guys! How are you feeling now?
Casey's villi were very excited. We feel great, Casey. You are finally feeding us the right food, so now we can grow back and become healthy again. You need to eat a gluten-free food diet so you can have a happy and healthy life too.
Casey and Willie, come home with me.
Casey, come home with me to Spruton, where all the food is gluten-free, and you will be able to eat anything you want. Here is a picture of Spruton. You will see that my family is very happy and healthy and lives with celiac disease there.
Just as the two of them were walking into the spaceship to take off to Spruton, Casey heard a voice calling,
Casey, wake up! It's time for breakfast now!
Okay, Mom!
Casey was so happy that he ate all of his waffles.
Mom, I now understand more about my special diet that I can eat most of my favorite foods as long as they are gluten-free.
Casey's mom was a little confused because she knew that Casey was sad about having to be on a gluten-free diet. Casey, I'm so proud of you and glad that you are happy again, said his mother.
Casey looked out the window and gave Willie a thumbs up. As he left for Spruton in his spaceship, Casey said to himself, I hope I see you again someday, Willie.
Casey, get ready for your gluten-free picnic this afternoon.
When Casey arrived at the picnic with his mom, he saw other boys and girls just like him eating gluten-free pizzas, cakes, and cookies. He knew from that moment on that everything was going to be just great. Now
Casey knows that dreams can come true.
Yes, dreams can come true.
I hope you liked our book and our different characters. And so I want to tell you a little bit about my journey with celiac disease. I did not get diagnosed till I was 40 years old. I always had a lot of problems with my stomach. They told me it was irritable bowel. They told me it was stress. I stayed away from certain foods. I went to a psychiatrist. They said, what are you doing here? So it was a long journey until I read in a Mayo Clinic book about something called malabsorption syndrome. And then I could eat a lot of food, but I would never gain any weight. So the doctor did a blood test. Now, the doctors can do a blood test and they can find out if you have celiac disease, but it can be a false positive. So the most important thing that you can get is an endoscopy to see if those villi that we were talking about are flattened out and destroyed. So 1 out of 133 people are walking around with the celiac disease. That's 1% of the population, and 83% are undiagnosed. So it's really important that you understand that there is no cure for celiac disease, that you must stay on a gluten-free diet, just like we said in the book. No wheat, no oats, no barley, no rye. And so anything with white flour, we can't eat. We have to eat very special types of flours like garbanzo beans and, rice flour and things like that. And so some of the symptoms of celiac disease are bloating, gas, constipation, diarrhea, muscle cramps. You can also have heartburn, indigestion, and also malnutrition. So there's a lot of different symptoms that you can have. But also, you don't have to have gastro symptoms. You can have something called silent celiac, which really does not have any gastro symptoms at all, but it can be destroying your organs and you don't even know it. So you need to go to the doctor if you have any of those symptoms and get a blood test. Tell them you want a celiac panel, and they'll do a celiac panel. Now, we are susceptible to autoimmune disorders if you don't take care of celiacs. So if you have diabetes or thyroid condition or miscarriages or infertility or fibromyalgia, lupus, schizophrenia or rheumatoid arthritis, depression, Sjogren's syndrome, or a lot of other things, osteoporosis. I have very bad osteoporosis due to not being able to absorb nutrients and minerals because we are B deficient and we are folate deficient. And so we need to always take vitamin supplements if you have celiac disease. So it's really important that you understand that. So in the back of my book, I wrote some tips for parents because I wanted to write this book because I knew how difficult it was to be on a gluten-free diet at 40 years old. They told me I was going to go on a little diet. This is not a little diet. This is a life-changing diet. And so I wrote this for me. How difficult is it for children? And so that's when I wrote this book, and I decided that it's not only difficult for children, but it's difficult for parents because parents need to know what they have to do. This is a whole new world. This is not be able to eat another birthday cake or pizza. I don't even know what pizza tastes like anymore, your pizza or your pasta, because I've been eating gluten-free for 25 years. So tips to help parents cope with celiac disease and the gluten-free diet is in the back of this book. And so one of them is explain to your child that celiac disease requires him or her to be on a gluten-free diet for the rest of his or her life. This is a life-changing diet, and you have to stay on it. We have no drugs, we have no medication, we have no injections, but we are working on something, in research, trying to find some kind of drug or something in the future. Then you want to teach your child about celiac disease and how to live a happy, healthy, and positive life. You want to make sure that they know what to eat in restaurants and parties. That's really important. And remember that there's cross-contamination issues. So if you go to a restaurant and there's a grill there, they're probably grilling things that have gluten on it. So you don't want to eat things that are grilled. You want broiled or baked. And so you need to understand when you go to a restaurant that you need to talk to the chef to make sure that they know that certain things can be done for you. And you want to bring your own food to occasions or parties, because I never leave home without my food bag, okay? Because I have to eat, and if I'm on the road.
I can vouch for that.
Yeah, right. And you want to make sure that your medications, see, people don't think about that, but your medications have to be gluten-free. And don't rely on your doctor and don't rely on your pharmacist, because the pharmacist and the doctor really don't know what's in the medications. So what I do is I pick up the telephone. Every time I need a prescription, I have to call the manufacturer and find out what is in the particular prescription. And so make sure that everything that you put in your mouth is gluten-free. All right, it's really, really important. And so I wanted to share that with you. Also, remember that being on a gluten-free diet is you can have a positive life. You don't have to think about all the things that you can't eat. There's so many different things out there now because, see, gluten-free is now like a fad, and they're out there. People think they're going to lose weight on a gluten-free diet. People jumping on it like Gwyneth Paltrow and a lot of other stars. But you know what? Dr. Peter Green, who's the guru of celiac disease in New York, Columbia Presbyterian Hospital, he wrote a book, and he will tell you that no one should be on a gluten-free diet unless you have celiac disease or you are allergic to gluten, because it will deplete you of all the vitamins and minerals that you need. And so it's really important that you understand that. So if you have any of those symptoms that I said, abdominal pain, we even have dental enamel problems with our teeth. So there's so many different things that you can have with celiac disease, but it's because there's no nutrition, all right? You're malnourished. And so it's really important that you go to a doctor and get tested. And remember what I said, the gold seal is the endoscopy. And so we wrote this book together. When we got this book together, we're so excited about it because my mission and Eileen's mission is to educate as many people as possible about celiac disease. 100 years.
Remember when we did those expos and the book events? We have so much fun.
Right. We did
interacting with people.
Right. Because
this.
Right. Our mission is to get the word out there. And that's why we chose to be on Vibrance. And I'm so thankful that we are on Vibrance. Thank you for giving us the opportunity to make Celiac Awareness Month special, where we got a chance to read our book. And so our book is available, and you can buy the book at www.elenatorsiello.com. And you can get the book there. And I really want to talk to everybody about, if you do suspect that you have celiac disease, it's important that you go to the doctor, as I said. But like in the beginning, you might be lost, like I was, and I didn't know what to do. So I joined a support group. There are support groups in your area. The celiac community will stick together and we will help one another. So it's really important that you find a support group.
Can I share
Yes.
with the audience how
We
it was to illustrate the book and all the
sure.
things that we went through to get it finished? It took us, I believe it was over a year before this book actually got published. I remember when you
Right.
first told me you were writing a story, and I'm thinking to myself, yeah, okay, I'll believe it when I see it. But then 3 years later, there it was. You had a little story, and it was so much fun working with it, with you on it. And I taught myself basically how to illustrate. You first have to develop your characters and draw little prototypes and add clothing and other special features to them and figure out their hand movements and, what are they doing? Are they holding hands? There's so much that was involved, and you really helped me. And then sharing it at our book expos and at Children's Hospital when they do their events was so wonderful. And meeting all those people and interacting and sharing their stories and telling them why the book we both felt would be so helpful. And also, I'm a full-time private art teacher. I've taught arts and crafts for the last 20-something years. And I miss my kids in person, but I have been teaching virtually through Vibrant. Thank you, Minnie and Maida. And I wanted to just say that it's been a wonderful experience.
And so if you're diagnosed with celiac disease, I really want you to think positively. Because I was diagnosed with celiac disease, this support group. I mean, I'm eating foods I never would be able to eat in my entire life before, like garbanzo bean flour and rice flour. I mean, it's such a healthy diet. It really is a healthy diet. And so that's why I want you to be positive. Don't be depressed about it. Look at all the great things that you can eat and how healthy you're going to be. So that's what I want to say.
So much. Thank you so much for joining us today. We hope you've enjoyed it.
I want
sharing it with you.
Yes, and I want to just talk about Beyond Celiac, beyondceliac.org. It's a very good organization. It has a lot of information. There's a checklist of symptoms there, and if you want to go there, it's fabulous. It's one of my greatest resources because it talks about the research that's being done, and we are going to be helping them with their donations. They're looking for donations so we can do more and more research.
Thank you, Elena. We
yes,
have to say goodbye, but we must go.
We just want to say one more thing. We're going to be donating a percentage of our sales to beyondceliac.org. So thank you, everyone. Thank you. I hope you had fun at our reading session today. And everyone, bye.
Bye.
Have a great day, and we will see you again. Bye.
Bye-bye.